Hey guys, it's Teresa Crane with Jeremiah Dreams. How are you guys? I am doing very well. Today has been a wonderful day. I've gotten quite a bit done. My new washer and dryer came today. And let me know when you join. Tell me, can you hear me? Because I got to know, can you hear me? Let's see, what was that little beep? I don't even know. Um, Hopefully, all is well. I have no idea what that beep was. But as you join me, say hello. Let me know you can hear everything okay. I hope it's all good. Awesome, Linda. Thank you so much. You know, I never know. Okay, so listen, this is what we're going to do. Remember this sign that I did the other day? And I put, let me show you real close. I put Kentucky and I have a red heart. Hi, Tracy. Thank you so much, you girl. You just never know. That's why I have to ask. Hi, Chicky. How's my friend? So I put this red heart right here because that's about where I live, right there in that very western tip. And this week, I've got the second phase to getting this little jewel done. So let me share my screen. Hang on. And we're going to flip it around. Hopefully my internet is going to cooperate, you guys. I have already had a couple of little issues with it today. I was, in fact, watching Miss Tracy on a live, and it just kicked me off. I don't know. So, oh, hey, Angela and Phyllis. Thank you guys so much. Yes, paint the blessings. Oh, good, Linda. Oh, you're gonna have to share it in my free group, create and share. I want to see what it looks like when you get yours done. Hi, Shirley from Mississippi. Thank you so much for being here, girl. I'm so glad to meet you. Please join us. We're going to put this together. So I have been outside on the porch cutting wood with my little jigsaw. And you guys, I am using reclaimed wood, and it is weathered and in pretty rough shape. Let me see if I can adjust this camera up a little bit so you can see a little bit more even, because it's got a lot of flaws. It's got some real cracks. When I was cutting it, in fact, it was a little tricky because it wanted to split. There were some old nails peeking through. Y'all, my little dog, of course, he's going to start barking. So I'm so sorry about that. Um, but I started not to use it, and I thought, you know what? I really do like these imperfections, like this right here. To me, that's just very interesting. All these little nooks and crannies that it has. So I want to put this together to be a good surface for my little United States sign, because where it's going to be living, they're all about, kind of the homestead, raw wood, the things that make it interesting. So I am going to use my wood glue and my hot glue. In fact, I'm going to do a little extra on the back where these splits are, just to help, because I can see that it's going to want to even break a little more if I'm not really gentle with it. So just hang tight. This one's got a pretty good split on it too, and I have no idea why that's beeping at me. But you guys, just bear with me. I will move on along. I'll investigate that a little bit later. So let's get some wood glue going, and then I'm going to put some hot glue on this to help reinforce. And when I do that, I'm just doing like little dashes of the wood glue, and then I'm going to go back and put the hot glue. Hopefully my heat gun's heating up well. I'm going to do that in between. I'm about to need a new glue gun, I think, y'all. I'm going to have to reckon. Have y'all been checking out the Prime deals today by chance? I may need to see if there's a good Prime deal on a glue gun today. Today's the last day for Prime Day. Okay. So I've got this on here. I'm going to very carefully attach it. Hold my mouth right. I'm going to hold it just for a second to let that hot glue kind of adhere, kind of stick, so that the wood glue has an opportunity to set. Hey, Sonia, how are you doing, my friend? Linda, I tell you, girl, you're a creative at heart. You sure are. A bunch of you guys on here are. Y'all just need to let me see your projects. I have a free group called Create and Share, just in case you don't know about it, where you can share your projects so we can all learn from each other, and it's a lot of fun. All right, so that feels pretty good. So I'm going to flip this over. Well, maybe not because there's drops of wood glue back there. So maybe I'll just work on it from this direction because I don't want to get wood glue on the side that I want to put this all together on. And look at this piece. So it's got a pretty good little, but y'all, I love it when it's like that. It just gives it some character. Now, I will tell you, this has been out in the weather for quite some time. And when I went outside and cut it down, I took a sander to it, which cleaned up a lot of the yuck from it and left a pretty decent surface to work with. So let me use my wood glue and put some along here. And let me get the hot glue and whoops, it's kind of dripping. We'll clean that up. Let's get it put together. Now, you guys, I want your opinion. I'm a little undecided of what I want to do at this point because I've done these palette surfaces before. Make sure, I think my paper towel kind of tried to go in between. Maybe not. Good. Yay. I'm a little undecided. I have before kind of painted a section and then put my wood cutout on top of that. I've stained it. I'm a little undecided. I'm leaning toward, I have this new Waverly chalk paint color. This is mineral. And I really kind of thought about if I put anything as a surface right there, it would be this color because it's not too brown. It's just a good, I don't know if you can kind of see. It's just a good kind of clay looking natural color and kind of let that kind of be behind the USA. It's kind of a backdrop with the wood kind of peeking out because I didn't want to cover all of it. I just want to do a section kind of right along where the USA sign is going to be. Now I'm going to, because this is going to be fragile for a little bit. So let me say this. I'm going to go ahead and move on with just letting this sit like this and kind of do what I'm going to do to it. But when it's all dry, hey, Cheryl, how are you, my friend? When it's all dry, I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to use my hot glue gun and I'm going to reinforce these seams, reinforce some of these splits to kind of give them stability and just kind of shore it all up, I guess is a good way to put it. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. Girl, I'm telling y'all, today's a day. I am not all done up. It is what it is some days, and today is an is what it is day. So let me show you what I'm thinking. So I've got this laid out and kind of put together. Then my home sign is going to go like, or my USA sign is going to go about like that. I know it's kind of, this is almost too big for you guys to see on camera very well, but I think you get a good idea. And honestly, this chalk paint, let's just play around with it because it's going to be a little darker than the cream, but it's going to blend well with transitioning into the wood. So that's what I'm feeling. The artist in me is kind of feeling it. So let's just give it a whirl, see what we can do with it. I've got a brush here. I tell you what we'll do. We'll just do a little bit here in the center so that if we're not happy with it, no harm. It's going to be covered up. But I'm kind of thinking this might be kind of nice. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a generous amount on here. You guys, I know some of you want to make sure all of you know about the Craft Around the Clock channel. It is going live next week, June 30th. Go find Craft Around the Clock on Facebook and be in the know of all the things. Several of us have been busy recording our segments and excited and nervous, and We are just on a journey together that I don't think has been done before in this manner. It is a dedicated crafting channel that's going to be kind of like a Netflix kind of thing. It's going to be available on Roku and Amazon Fire. Um, you're going to be able to, it's a free download, the channel is. You're going to be able to go in there and choose different crafters and watch all the projects they're doing. There's not going to be like programming at particular times. You know how you can go into Netflix and you can watch movies and just kind of bounce around and watch this, that, and another. That's what this is going to be. So you can just kind of pop in on all your favorites and learn some new favorites. In our Craft Round the Clock hosting club, we have, I think I saw about 81, between 81 and 85 hostesses in that group. And eventually, everybody in that group is going to be a part of the channel. So you want to check it out. Right now, there's just a pilot crew of about 25 that are going to kick it off, and we're the guinea pigs. We're going to work through the troubleshooting and figure it out, and it's just such an honor and a blessing. Okay, y'all, here's this color. I kind of like it. What do you think? Hey, Chris. Hey, Miss Francis. How are you guys? Oh, girl, I would have loved to have been there. Oh, how fun. I saw pictures on Facebook, and I'm going to have to see about being a part of that sometime. That would be so much fun. Oh, I need a retreat. I need a girl retreat. I have had a busy year, and I am feeling it. Feeling it. In fact, my cousin and my sister and I are going to go to a women's retreat in Gatlinburg at the end of September, and I cannot wait. It cannot get here soon enough. Okay. I really like this color. Now, let's do this because I don't want it to be just flat. Let me put this color up out of the way. That color, just so you know, it's a Waverly chalk paint, and it's called Mineral. So it's not too brown. It's almost like a grage. You know that new term, grage? Somewhere between a gray and a beige kind of color. That's what it makes me think of. So let me kind of get some of this dry because I want to distress it. I think that would really add to it too. So you have to be a part of Terry's paid group to get to do the paint retreat, you guys. Is that what I'm seeing? Let me know the details. Yeah, it does look kind of great, but it does have a beige tone to it. Let me kind of smooth this one little mound of paint right there so it'll dry. It reminds me, I have just painted my living room not too long ago, and I kind of used this color. It's just a good neutral color, and I think it's going to look a little different depending on how light hits it, whether it looks beige or kind of those gray tones pop out. I really like this a lot. Again, this is called Mineral by Waverly, and I really like it. About got most of it. There's going to be little parts of it still going to be a little wet, but that's going to be okay for what I want to do with distressing it. Go up here and get this section. Little areas through here. So you guys, if you're just joining and you have not checked out Craft Around the Clock TV group on Facebook, check it out so you'll know all the things about what's happening. All right, so now I'm going to take some sandpaper. Y'all, this is actually sandpaper from my little sander, so it's just what I had. And I'm going to just distress this. Just lightly go over it and rough it up, especially out here at the outside, so that we have a little better blend into the wood. And you can kind of hear some of it's still kind of wet, but that's okay. That'll work. Not a big deal. I don't want to sand too hard because it shakes everything. Okay, I see Francis. Some of Serena's group was there. Okay. It just looked like so much fun. I might have to kind of come up with something like that here in Kentucky and get all my Kentucky creatives together, my neighbors, my creative neighbors, and then those of you that want to come. That would be fun. Can you tell I'm needing a girls' retreat so very bad? So Chris says, it was amazing. You're joining the paid group yesterday. Spent time with Sue Mullins and Pigeon Forge last week and this weekend. You love painting, never painting. You're amazed at what they oh, hey, Janet. How are you, lady? So I tell y'all, this past Sunday, I worked on recording my segment for the Craft Around the Clock channel. Y'all, I was a nervous wreck. It took me hours. I bet I recorded my intro 20 times before I was like, okay, I got this. I know what I'm saying. And I was like, what in the world? I do lives and it's not, I talk to y'all and you would come, Linda. Oh, no, we might have to figure this out. And I'm like, I talked to y'all. What is my deal here? So if you see my first one and you think, oh, Crane, get it together, sister, just know I was very nervous. Just have some grace for me. Oh, that's good to know, Chris. I'm going to have to watch for details next time. Okay, so I kind of roughed it up a little bit. Not that I wanted it to be anything major anyway. I mainly wanted it to have a nice transition from the paint to the wood, was my thought. Now, let's see if we can, I bet I'm about done with that little piece of sandpaper. Let's see if we can get anything else out of it. Let's see how this looks. Oh, I kind of like that. What do you think? Oh, good, Janet. I ain't black. Hey, Lisa, how are you? Okay, y'all, here comes. I do not know why my laptop is singing at me. I am so sorry. It's talking to me, and I don't really know what it's trying to say. All right, let's add some hot glue. Get this baby on here, and then we're going to do some details with this. And I probably should put some wood glue on this too, so I think I will. I'm just going to do a generous amount of hot glue. It'll probably cool because I thought about the wood glue afterwards because that's how I am sometimes. Let's just throw some in here. And that'll really kind of shore it up. Also make sure that it's going to stay for the long haul and not start popping off over time. But maybe we've got enough of everything on there that it'll stick. Okay, here we go. So I want to try to be sure I'm getting this somewhat centered. There. I'm just going to hold this here for a second. You're starting to get things packed up. Yes, Chris, I am in Kentucky. Oh, you guys. Hey, Donna. How are you, my friend? It's so good to see y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Y'all always make my heart smile. Okay. That, the wig glue is going to have to kind of set, but at least maybe it's on there enough that it's going to work well. I want to do a little extra to my little stay, my home message. I wanted it to set well before I kind of went to the next step with that. And one of the things I want to do while we still have just a few minutes, let's see here. Yeah, we've got just a few minutes. I like to add little shadow things because it gives dimension. It helps it kind of lift off the surface. And when I do that, I always do it to one side. So I think I'm going to start with a black because right up against where, that's how shadow is. When it's right up against the object, there's that line of black. And then as you come out, it starts to turn into a gray. Oh, hey, Joy. Thank you, girl. I'm so glad you like it. I think it is a best of both worlds. It gives you a really nice up close and personal look but then you can still kind of see me, but I'm not as important as what we're doing on the surface. And I want to be able to have you guys see exactly what's going on. Let me set my glue gun out of the way because I'm finished with that. All right. I might have to stand up a little bit, y'all, so just bear with me a moment. So I'm going to get a little bit of water on my brush because I want to kind of thin down. A lot of times when you have acrylic straight out of the bottle, it's just a little bit thick. So I like to get it just a little thinner, get a good point on my brush. And I hope my hand doesn't get right in your way, but bear with me. And I'm just going to go right along the outside of this in the black, like so. Okay. Now, I probably won't get this part completely finished while we're together, but as soon as I get it done here, I'll take a picture and I'll put it in the group so y'all can see. Now, when you're doing this also, you want to be very careful about how much pressure you use, because if you apply too much pressure, your bristles are going to fan out. It's going to make your line wider. So just be really careful. I'm trying to use a very light pressure and just outline. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do for time's sake. I'm going to go ahead and get some of the gray out and put that next to it so you can see what I have in mind for this shadow effect. Let me just do this little part of the H, and then let me get my gray. So let me get that black off. And I've got, this is a really pretty, this is called Rainy Day Gray. It's kind of a good mid-tone gray. What part am I in? Oh, my goodness, you're in Knoxville. I am in Western Kentucky, not far from Paducah. I live about 30 miles south of Paducah. So if you've heard of Paducah, you kind of know where I'm at. I'm not far from Metropolis, and another one of my creative friends, Chassida, lives in Metropolis, which is just north of Paducah. So I need to go up and see her face to face. We kind of passed in the night kind of thing, I guess. We've got common friends, but we've never met face to face, and I just need to fix that. I just need to go up there and hug her neck, I think. All right, so here's my gray. Let me show you what this looks like. So again, being very careful with my pressure so that my bristles don't get crazy and fan out. And I may have just a little bit too much water on my brush just from where I was thinning down that paint. So that's another thing you want to kind of watch and be mindful of too. And then I can always go back and correct that if I feel like it is just a little bit too much. And that just gives such a nice shadow effect. And listen, if your brush gets out of control for you a little bit, mine does too. Don't worry about it. You can just always go back and make corrections. It is just not a problem. So don't let that stress you out, okay? This is to be fun. It's not to be stressful. So let me get you guys a little closer so that you can kind of see. I'm going to bring the camera down. Got to get the right one though. Hopefully I can get you a little closer so you can see that shadow effect. Maybe a little bit hard. I hate to pick it up right now because the surface is still weak because that wood glue needs to set. But maybe you can kind of see some of the gray in there. I hope so. Anyway, that's kind of how that works. What do you think? Oh, good. You can see the gray. Good deal, Joy. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so I do need to touch up while I'm here just a little bit of the gray right here, just because there was a little too much water on my brush at that point and it diluted it a little bit. So see, you just go back and you make corrections. It's just not a problem. Okay. So I'm keeping all these stripes and lines just to the left of everything. Now I'm going to pick up some of my black and I'm going to go to the next. I'm going to go right through here. There we go. And part of it is from washing my brush too. I'm using a round brush. There we go. Let's go up through here. And, you know, I'm not perfect. And things like your heartbeat and the way you breathe affects how straight you can paint. So you just kind of go with it and you make corrections and just kind of clean it up as you go. And it's just not a problem. And it's just going to help it lift off the surface. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you so much. You have friends in Alton, Illinois. You go right through there when you're traveling. Oh, that's awesome. You know, the nice thing about here in Western Kentucky is it is a good central location. Um, it's kind of in the middle of the triangle between Memphis, Nashville, and Chicago. And that can be a pretty ideal location, especially for the trucking industry. So I have lived here my whole life, except for about 13 years when I was married. We lived in Nashville. And then when my children were born, when my son, my second child, was born, we moved back home. And now I live on our family farm. I have family all around me, and it's just kind of cool. I actually live closer to a small town called Mayfield, and that's where I work out of, shop there and all that. But I go to Paducah quite often also to do shopping. So a little tidbit about me there, just in case you were curious. And I graduated high school. There is a little town here called Simpsonia. Lisa knows all about Simpsonia. Lisa Verkowski that's here. Lisa was born in Mayfield. Yes. Yes. I was as well. I was also born in Mayfield back when there was it was called the Community Hospital. And that's where I was born. It's not there anymore. Now it is Jackson Purchase Medical Center. And let's see, what else? I don't know. Sometimes it's kind of nice to know about the people you watch and craft and know a little bit about who they are and what makes them who they are. I'm always interested to know little tidbits and facts. So when I get through doing my words with a shadow, I'm going to do the same with this little state of Kentucky, which is going to be a little tricksy considering all the little crooks and crannies that are in there. But I think it will give it just an amazing effect. So, y'all, I hope y'all like this. I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to put a picture in the group, but I think it's just really nice. This one is actually for a customer. And I will be able to deliver this to her tomorrow. I love getting projects finished because sometimes I can't. Well, listen, you guys, we are about out of time. But I'm so glad y'all came to visit with me today. Thank you. Thank you. It is so much more fun. Let me switch this around. It's so much more fun to visit with you and have conversation. Yes, Joy, Chassida is the lady that sells antiques. Yes, that's exactly right. Lisa knows all about Simpsonia. Yes, that's right. So, y'all, thank you, Miss Shirley. Y'all, thank you so much for being here. I just love visiting with you all. Thank you for talking to me and making this a fun time and interesting time. Y'all, I'm going to put a picture in the group here in just a little bit. There is another crafter coming up after me. I don't know who that is, but I know it'll be wonderful. Thank you for being with me. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all very soon. Thank you, guys. Love you. Bye-bye.